Hey Maxwell, Mr. Cornett here, and we're getting ready for next week's PE lesson. But again, I want to say thank you all so much for another wonderful week of amazing gymnastics at home, which was a little different, but you guys did such an awesome job finding a place and finding, and some of you guys did things that I didn't even think about, which I love to see. So thank you all so much for another great week of activities. This week, we are going to do something called Luck of the Draw, and what you're going to need is a deck of cards. Now, I know that not everybody has a deck of cards, so I will attach in the seesaw activity a link to an online deck of cards that you can just click and it will show you a card. So I'm gonna flip the camera around so you can see the learning objectives, and I'm gonna explain exactly how this activity is gonna work. So here we go. All right, our first learning target, I can perform exercises from the 3 different components of physical fitness. So our exercises that for each suit, which is I'll show you in a minute for the cards, we'll have work on a different component of physical fitness, and then I can look at the card and determine, which means I can figure out what exercise to do and how many. So I will show you that, and I think that everybody is smart enough to do that and figure that out. So I'm also going to scan over here. So there are 4 suits in a deck of cards. So we have hearts, we have diamonds, we have clubs, and we have spades. I try to do a little drawing there, but I will show you with the real card in just a moment. And for each one of those, you will have to, an exercise matches up. So if you draw a heart, you got to do ski jumps. Now some of these exercises are kind of winter themed, so I will demonstrate all of them in just a moment. So that if you're like, I don't know what to do, I will show you in just a second. So diamonds, you will do snowman melts, so it's gonna be kind of like a squat. Clubs, we're gonna do mountain climbers, like we're climbing to the top of a snowy mountain. And then for spades, we're gonna do not just a bear crawl, a polar bear crawl. And then the last one, since you may notice that there's no stretches on there, flexibility is one of our components. If you draw a joker, you will do an elf stretch. So I'll show you that in just a moment too. So those are our different exercises we're going to do for each card. All right, I'm going to flip the camera back around and show you how this is going to work. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to get started in just a second. I have my deck of cards here, and basically each card, like I was showing you earlier, or I kind of drew, like that's a king of hearts. They have a number that goes along with them, and that's how many you're going to do. Now, these face cards, like the king, and see if I can find a queen, see if there's a jack, or a 10, they're all gonna be 10. Okay, so you gotta do that exercise 10 times. If you draw an ace, which kind of looks like just an A, you have to do it 11. That's even one more, so that's the most. Now, like I was saying about jokers, there's only 2 jokers in a deck of cards, and some people may have removed the joker. So if there's no joker in your deck of cards, it's no big at all. But I'm just going to pull off the top, and whatever I get is what I get. So I've got a 3 of clubs. So it might be kind of backwards, but it's a 3 of clubs. So I gotta look at my sheet here, and I'll make a little slide at the end that has all of the exercises if you don't want to go back and look at this here. For clubs, we are doing mountain climbers, so we're climbing to the top of the mountain. So I gotta do 3 mountain climbers. I have to draw 3 of clubs. So I'm gonna get down in this position like a push-up almost. Just switch my legs back and forth. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that was a pretty easy one. Okay, what do we have next? So next I drew a joker. Now I didn't say how long to do this. Let's do since we don't have very many of them and you may not even draw one, let's do like maybe a 20-second stretch. So we're gonna do a 20-second stretch, an elf stretch. So we're gonna, kind of like that rag doll we did a long time ago. We're just gonna bend here like one of those elf on a shelf just tipped over. If you wanna spread your legs apart more maybe, since we're doing such a long stretch, go one side, go to the middle, go to the left. Just kind of stretch there as far as you can go without it hurting. If I go too much further, it kind of hurts in my legs here. I don't want to pull a muscle. All right, so that's our joker. If we draw a joker. All right, next card. Oh, we already did the joker. Once you've used the card, you can just put it in a new pile, in a, we'll call it discard, but you just put it over to the side so you don't draw that one again. All right, what do we have? A 7 of diamonds. For diamonds, we're gonna do snowman melts. Like I said earlier, it's kind of like doing a squat. So think about, I saw a lot of snowmen that got made over when it snowed like last week. And a couple days later, I saw them kind of melting. So we're just melting down. You gotta do a slow squat. When you get down to like almost where your shoes are or your feet are, come back up and do another one. So we had 7 of them, oh goodness. 2, 3. When you go a little slower like this, it works your legs even harder, especially when you get down to that low part, you're squeezing that muscle there. 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right. Now, if you have somebody at home that wants to do this with you, you can maybe alternate so that you're not doing so many. If you did all 52 cards, well, 54 if you have the jokers, you'd be pretty worn out. So it's not something you have to necessarily do all the whole deck. Okay? Maybe after you've hit a few of each suit. All right. Oh, got a big old ace. So aces 11. So we had to do 11, and for hearts we're doing ski jumps. So if you've ever been skiing, you have to bend you want kind of your knees over your shoes like this. You bend your knees like this, and you're kind of jumping back and forth. So that's what we're gonna do. We're jumping side to side, but keeping those knees bent. Okay? So I gotta do 11 of them. So here we go. 1, 2, and you have these little poles that you can kind of do that with too. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. So that was our ski jumps. All right. What do we have left here? All right. Last one. We have a spades. That's what a spade looks like. We have a 6 of spades. So we're doing a polar bear crawl. Very similar to a bear crawl, but we're doing a polar bear since we're doing winter theme. If you remember from last week, gymnastics, when you do a bear crawl, you move one side at the same time. So I'm going, you can make the noises too. 4, 5, 6. You can be a scary bear. All right. Okay, so that's our activity for this week. Luck of the draw. I'm a little winded. That's definitely a good workout. Again, don't feel like you need to do the whole deck. That would be totally crazy. So just do a few of them for each category maybe. You can, like I said, share maybe with a family member, like one of you do it, and the other person does it, and then the other person does it. That way you're just kind of get a little break in there too. But for your seesaw activity, I will post a link for an online card shuffler. So basically you just push the card and it'll flip it over and give you a card, just so if you don't have a deck of cards at home, because I honestly had to find one at school because I didn't have one at home. So no big deal, you can use that at home. So I will attach that in the activity, and you guys can just send a picture or video of your favorite one of those that you like to do. So I can't wait to see the videos. You are doing an amazing job with doing PE online. So keep up the great work, and I will see you all soon. Adios.